Hi HAPT fam, we just wanted to reach out to you guys and touch base and encourage you guys on some things that we're finding, tips that we're working on, and things we've been struggling with and trying to be proactive with, and things that we've heard from you guys that are struggling with the same exact thing. And so we just want to encourage you guys with taking control of your schedule, taking control of your time with all the changes that are taking place. We know a lot of you guys are working from home, and there's some nice things that we're finding out about that, but that also comes with a lot of challenges. And a lot of you are working from home and you've got kids, and that comes with even more challenges. I fall into that category. And we know that some of you guys are working from home with kids that are in homeschool. And I was talking to one of our members, I can't think of anything worse than a group full of kindergartners on a video chat. Talk about hitting the mute button quickly on that one. So that just sounds like a lot of challenges, and we know that with all of that, there's just the reality of waking up each day and kind of asking yourself, is this actually real? Is this the reality that I'm living in? And the day starts to bleed together when you wake up till you go to bed, and all the things that you've got that are just all syncing together, and there's no division in your day. And then the days start to bleed together, the weeks start to bleed together. And I think it's pretty easy to say that you start feeling like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. It's like, we've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off. I mean, true story, the other day I was at the peak of probably my stress as a business owner, and for me, it's trying to keep my staff in a good spot, keep everybody employed, and keep our members in a good spot. I think I just got to the peak of the stress with everything that was taking place, that even in my dream I was stressed out, to the point that it was a nightmare for me, where I started balding because of the stress was so much. I actually started balding in a weird way too. It was like I had all of my side hair and I had the front of it and it was normal, but then it just started like receding back and you could see my scalp, and I was freaking out. I mean, I literally woke up and was like, oh, thank God I've got my hair. And so I think all of us are finding some of this stress difficult to deal with. And I think, again, it comes back to our whole HAPT challenge of staying connected and really trying to find the things that we can control. And I know for us, just taking control of our schedule has been a really good thing. So we're gonna give you some tips and things that we've been doing, and hopefully you find these helpful. I think for a lot of us, we're realizing how much flexibility we actually have. And with that flexibility, especially if we're not actually defining it, it can almost be too much of a good thing, and it becomes a bad thing because we don't have anything that's actually set out for what we're going to do in the day, and that's when everything starts to bleed together. So a lot of it for us is actually trying to separate our time and design our day for the way that we want to look at it. So I'm going to share some things that I've done well before all of this happened, and I think it's becoming even more important to stay at it. The first thing is just review your week before you actually get started. So on Sunday, I'll look at my week and I'll set out, what do I actually want to get accomplished this week? So I'll write out my 3 main things that I want to get done that week, and then I'll just go through each day and I'll start blocking out the different things that I need to actually take advantage of or make happen, whether that's appointments, Zoom calls now, time with my family, whatever that is, and put those into each day. And then each day I want to actually do a review in the morning and a review at night. So let's say we fast forward to Monday morning. The way that I start that out is I'm going to write down 3 things I'm thankful for. That's just a continued habit. The next thing, because of the challenge and because of everything that's going on, write down the 3 things I can control that day. And then I just start to put into reviewing what my day actually looks like, filling in any gaps, times I want to actually work, times I want to spend with my family, whatever the situation is. And then I start going through my day. At the end of my day, I'm gonna then review it. I'm gonna do a little analysis of how well I actually did. So I'm gonna look at it, see what were my wins for the day, what were the things I could have done better, how could I have been more proactive, how could I have done this better, how could I have handled this conversation better, whatever the situation is, and then try to apply that to the following day. And then that night, Monday night, I'm gonna start doing the same thing for Tuesday. I'm gonna set my intentions for Tuesday, do a little review, and then so on and so forth. And that way I can make sure that I'm learning from the day I just had, and I'm setting my intention for the day that I'm gonna start taking on. So I want to give you guys 3 tips that are helpful for me as I schedule my day and then as I just go throughout my day. The first one, this is more throughout the day, is more my mental transitions. And I got this from Brendon Burchard. A lot of you guys have heard him or read some of his books, and he's got a lot of great stuff out. And it's just making mental transitions and being very intentional. Oftentimes, as we, even before coronavirus, when I would come home from work and I'm still on the phone, or I just read an email and I'm thinking about how to respond, or I'm thinking about that conversation I just got off of, and I go home and I see my son who's so excited to see daddy, but daddy's still mentally at work. And that's taking that time to actually make a mental transition and releasing yourself from what you were doing, and then setting your intention on what you're gonna go do. And I think that is so important, especially now as the walls are starting to come in a little bit and we're working from home and we're at home, we're with our spouse, our kids, our partner, whatever the situation is, and you don't have that separation, you don't even have that space to actually make that transition. So mentally, we got to get ourselves in the right state before we actually make that transition. So good things to do would be, when you're done with work, actually give yourself an end time. It's too easy to just let yourself continue to go, especially right now. For a lot of us, work just keeps going and going and going, and it's almost like you're getting further and further behind. But we all need that time to just be able to actually stop and have an end point and be done for the night. And close the laptop, turn off the computer, take your phone, set it aside, and be completely done. And so that would be a really good encouragement to just hopefully take and apply, that you actually just take a second, release yourself from what you're actually going from, and then set your intention on how you want to be. How do you want to act? How do you want to engage with the relationships that you're about to go and relate to, and making sure that you're being the person that you want to be, versus taking that stress and then throwing it on your loved ones before actually being intentional with it. Number 2 would be schedule your workouts. We got to make sure that we're actually still scheduling our workouts. Even more important now. When we had order, we had the structure that we were coming from. It was easier to make your time that you actually set time for. So whether that was your 3:30 or 4:40 or 5:50, whatever it was that your jam was of getting off work or before work, it made that you had structure in your day. And now more than ever, you got to create structure in your day. So I would really encourage you guys to schedule it. And if you do have flexibility, get it done with sooner. Start your day off with doing a workout, or do it mid-morning after you crank out some work. Get your workout in and do the same thing. Practice that mental transition. Close the computer, turn off the phone, whatever needs to take place, and then go get your workout done and make it a priority. Make your health matter, especially with all the stress that's taking place. Having an outlet for you to actually work that out is crucial right now. And then last tip is schedule time with your family and schedule things that are fun. It's too easy to, again, just let the day bleed together, feel like you gotta obsessively check your phone and check your email, and I fall into that really easy right now. And so actually setting time to go, okay, I'm just gonna go be with my family, or I'm just gonna go be with my spouse, and actually be mentally and physically present with them. That's one of the best gifts that you can give somebody right now, especially during isolation, is to actually give them your attention. So really try to be intentional about that, and schedule out your fun, whether that is board games or even your time watching a show, whether that's Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever your jam is. Set the time, and don't let that just continue to take over your day to where all of a sudden you're binge watching. You didn't get any of the things done, the house a mess, the kids aren't taken care of, and now you're even more stressed out. But it's okay to watch some of those things. Just build it in, give yourself parameters, and then enjoy it when you're actually doing it. If I can give you one thing to avoid, is seeking perfection. Especially during these times, it's not gonna look perfect. You're not gonna have a perfectly laid out day where the kids act so great during your time at work, and then you can go from work to back to kid time, back to doing whatever at the house. Things are just not gonna look like that. And it is gonna be messy, and that's okay. So allowing yourself, giving yourself some grace during this time, learning from what you can get better at, learning from how you can improve, trying to do the best you can to apply that to the next day. And again, taking your stress down by focusing on what you can control. Hopefully these tips were helpful for you. We know that they've been helpful for us. We love you guys. We want to see you guys get in your workouts, and hopefully this will help to do so.